Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Today is December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. Yeah, I played the music long because that's one of my all-time favorites. I could be laying in a coffin, and that would wake me up. So when I listen to it, I get the beat going. But this version that Shane has provided for us kind of sounds like Billy Idol's riding the Batmobile while he's playing this song. So I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. Matt, your host here. I got Susan Sturrow with me, pusher of paint, poet of photography, rocket of rock and roll. And just an all-around good girl.
Thank goodness it's Friday. It's Friday.
What kind of Friday
Freaky,
is it?
frisky.
Free-for-all Friday.
Free-for-all Friday.
Now, I got a twist for you, everybody, for Free-for-all Friday. Of course, we got the regular stuff here. Now, look, I love you all. I think you're a great audience. I just couldn't do the debate last night. It was a 3-hour debate, like a 3-hour cruise, and they land on a freaking island.
Well, we've all heard it before anyway. They want to raise taxes on the rich, and they think that they're soaking the middle class.
But I do have an audio of how smart Elizabeth Warren is when it comes to the economy part of it. So don't give it away.
I won't give it away.
Don't give it away. So we got a lot going on here. I got Bill Whitmire, Republican chair, coming in.
A lot to give away. Anyway.
Yeah. He's running a little bit late. He'll be here in a few minutes. But give us a call here at the studio, 866-89, 866. Christmas, and I'll tell you what, before we miss the beat, why don't you tell us about Logic Fest, get your list of information there, and we got Logic Fest coming up pretty quick. Susan's going to give us a rundown.
Logic Fest is January 24th, 25th, and 26th, and it's in Fredericksburg, Texas, which is an awesome place to be.
Yes, it is.
And it'll be a great time. And you can stay at the Windcrest Inn and Suites, Sunset Inn and Suites, Econo Lodge, Barrister's Guest Quarters. Call down there and tell them that you're going to Logic Fest, and they'll give you the special rates. You can do a lot of cool things. We're going to have dinner Friday night at the Crossroads Saloon and Steakhouse. And then on Saturday, we're going to have breakfast in the lobby at the Windcrest Inn and Suites. 8 to 10, Ed's going to do his law talk, and from 12 to 2, Common Sense with Con. You get to meet Con down there. Allstead Brewery on Saturday night. Midnight country dancing at the Crossroads.
Do you country dance, Susan?
I like to dance.
I didn't say that. I said do you country dance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like
that. Because I love to dance, but when it comes to country
dancing,
forget about it. Okay, go ahead. What else you got? We got the Knick-Knack store on the main drag on the right side, depending on which way you're going into town.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we will find out the name for you after the event and let you know after the event.
What that Knick-Knack store is, yeah.
Anyway, but there's a great museum down there. There's a lot to do. You can take the wine tasting tour. The museum is the Pacific War George Bush Gallery.
Now look, Susan, if they're gonna go to the museum, I gotta push this. I think Midway's still out there.
Yeah.
You gotta at least go see the movie Midway because it's so close to the time of Logic Fest. Check out the movie; it'll give you a much better understanding when you go into the museum of some things that you'll be seeing and documents that you'll be reading, but you'll get a visual on it with the movie, and then you get to actually touch, smell, see the real stuff in the museum.
Well, and I think the museum is awesome too, by the way.
And I think they got
It's
tanks
great.
down there too, don't they, on the outside?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. It's,
All right, so
it's a first-class museum.
There's going to be a lot to do down there, so sign up quick. Make sure you get yourself a room. They'll be at a discount. They'll know what you're talking about once you call them up and tell them you're going to Logic Fest. It'll be a good time, okay? So we got a lot coming on today. Let me give you some highlights as to what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been thinking about this. We have impeachment, and sure, major foobar when it comes to that. But we have to split it up into two categories. And the one category is the president supposedly is impeached. And I tell you why I say supposedly impeached in just a little bit. So we have that whole hassle. We know of all the players involved with the impeachment. And then you have the other aspect of it, whereas the Constitution is being shredded, which is really the important thing. And here's why I say that. And I've been saying this, that Ronald Reagan in 1980 was the man for the job. He had the finesse, the clarity, the gravitas when it came to holding that position at a particular time. Well, it's 2019, and the way this country is and the way this world is, we need a man like President Trump to be sitting in that seat, occupying that office to get what it takes done, and we'll list a few of those things. So when it comes to President Trump, he's doing a great job. He's the man who can handle it. It's a badge of honor, battle scar, although we know it's not, but he handles it, and we'll take it that way. Now, because of that's happening, now that they got their way and impeached the president, they allowed the USMCA to go through, which was to take over NAFTA. NAFTA, the flop of a trade agreement, has now been replaced with USMCA, which is the United States-Mexico-Canadian Agreement of Trade. And it was passed, no problem. Trump is going to sign it very quickly, I'm sure. It's going to bring hundreds of thousands of jobs to this country.
It's been sitting on Pelosi's desk for a year while they're impeaching this guy.
That's right, because they didn't want to give him any favor.
They've wasted a whole year not signing this thing.
And now that they got the impeachment supposedly under their belt, they're willing to sign it. But now we've got supposedly, and I think I've got a clip on this.
Well, they also took credit for it. It was Nancy Pelosi's
That's
idea.
Right. That's right. There's argument. I think I got an article on that too. I got stuff all over the place here. I just got to find it. I got to highlight it in different colors. And they're arguing who's the actual person to take credit. Is it the president who set it up, or is it Nancy because she got it passed through? Well,
Nancy's been in there for years and years and years. She's never done this kind of thing before. I don't give her credit.
All right, so we're going to talk about that. Then it's Free for All Friday. I'm throwing something into the mix here. I'm going to start it off like this. Free for All Friday. And I was looking at something that was kind of, people would say, oh, it's a conspiracy. I said, it's Free for All Friday. Let's have a little fun. I've got conspiracy theories here. I want you to tell me your thoughts, your ideas, your answers, your whatever, when it comes to the following conspiracy theories. I've got 10 with a bonus, and the bonus really doesn't count, but here we go. I want your input on the following. Who shot Kennedy? Was it one or more people? The next one, hollow Earth. Is the Earth hollow? Are there people living in the hollow Earth? Do spaceships go from the North Pole down into the center of the planet? This one here, I get people who I know and I respect, but I still argue the fact, and that is, are there chemtrails or not? Are chemtrails the byproduct of just a natural event that we're doing as humans, flying aircraft? Or is it a conspiracy of putting stuff in the air on purpose?
Chemtrail. Chemistry, chemical trail?
If you look back in the day, look, I'm old enough to remember when aircraft would go by, they would leave a contrail, that's condensed air, and they would dissipate in minutes. Mm-hmm. Chemtrails, I'll watch a clear blue sky, see aircraft crisscross my skies, make a tic-tac-toe board, and those thin lines over the course of 3, 6, 8 hours turn the whole sky full of clouds. I watch them. I see them develop. I have pictures, okay? So, but is it because of the chemicals they're putting in the fuel and it's up in the atmosphere and it's coming out of the engine, which is causing that as a byproduct, so it makes you think it's a conspiracy? Or is it really some type of weather menacing device because the three major superpowers have weather agreements that they won't use weather weapons against each other? So it kind of makes you think that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue on. See you on the other side. Starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin.
Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. And I've got Susan Stroh with me. Bill Whitmire will be in soon. I was talking about, it's Free for All Friday, and we were talking about conspiracy theories. Have a little fun with this. See what you think about them. If you got any input, comments about them. And I got up to chemtrails. So let me finish up the list here, and then I'll do my devotional. What about aliens? Do aliens exist? How about a new world order? President Bush, 41 actually said it, a new world order. Underground military bases. Are there tunnels running all across the United States from major city to major city where military personnel, aircraft, and equipment can be transported from one place to another on high-speed rail? How about the dark side of the moon? Are there alien bases on the dark side of the moon? We never get to see the dark side of the moon. It never rotates in front of us. So maybe these spacecraft, did we go on the moon to check out alien spacecraft? Tell me what you think. How about the Illuminati? Do they exist? 911, was it an inside job? Number 10, Michelle.
Illuminati, what's that? What is it?
The enlightened ones who know all. Illuminated knowledge?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't enlightened about that.
This is a big one, though, here. No pun intended what I'm about to say, but Michelle Obama, is she a man or is she a woman? That's a big one.
You can determine that one. I'm staying out of that.
And then the bonus is Jeffrey Epstein. Did he kill himself? So there you go. You got 11.
I don't think that's conspiracy. That's common knowledge.
Common knowledge, yeah. But just like us, Michelle Obama as well, or some of the other ones. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Tell me what you think on the conspiracy theories. Let me do my daily devotional before it gets any later, because you know we need the good Lord on our side through these times. I give devotionals out to a lot of people, and I do it Monday through Friday, very early in the morning, and I've been blessed to be able to do it on the show here too. So if you're not into this kind of thing, put your fingers into your ears, lower the volume. I'll be done in about 60 to 80 seconds. Actually, today it'll be 60 seconds. Good morning. I wrote this yesterday. A sad day for our nation. A doorway to collapse has been opened. Pray to the Lord that we may see his plan through this and that he may intervene to guide us, direct us, and save us while we head down this road. And I get this from Proverbs 29, verse 2. It reads, when the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when the wicked man rules, people groan. And Ephesians 5:11, do not participate in the unfruitful deeds of darkness, but instead even expose them. And I close by saying, our country is a miracle forged out of faith and blood. Let's continue to pray for her and those who need to be prayed for, which is every single one of us. Have a blessed day. So there you go. We plant the seed. We let the good Lord do the watering. Don't cram it down anybody's throat. Let's see what happens. And the Lord's in control. You can take your fingers out of your ears and you can raise up the volume now. And since we're on track, let me read the quotes. We have a game every morning about this time. If you can tell me who the author of these quotes are, you win a prize. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got about 10 quotes here. Those are my principles, and if you don't like them, well, I have others. I sent the club a wire stating, please accept my resignation. I don't want to belong to any club that will accept me as a member. One morning, I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got into my pajamas, I'll never know. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. I find television very educating. Every time somebody turns on the set, I go into the other room and read a book. I never forget a face, but in your case, I'll be glad to make an exception. Marriage is a wonderful institution, but who wants to live in an institution? I've had a perfectly wonderful evening, but this wasn't it. And last two are politics is the art of looking for trouble, finding it everywhere, diagnosing it incorrectly, and applying the wrong remedies. How fitting. And time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Okay. If you can tell me who the author is of those quotes, give me a call here, and you win a prize. Now, let me continue on with some of the things we're going to be going over today. Iowa. An Iowa man gets 15 years for burning a flag. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think somebody should be arrested and put into jail for burning a flag? We'll talk about that. And I got Bill Whitmire just walked into the house. Bill, good morning.
Morning.
How about this one? I love this. The New York Post puts on the front page a picture of Nancy Pelosi, and I got it right here somewhere, but it's got a picture of Nancy on there. And Swamp Mistress Pelosi dresses in black for historic vote. In big headline, it's your funeral. So that'll be fun to talk about. Pelosi impeachment strategy. Hey, Bill, what do you think about this one? They've been throwing this one around. Take out Trump, take out Pence. Guess who's president?
Nancy.
Could be.
What are they going to take Pence out for?
Schiff is working on it now. Supposedly a bit of information that may prove to be showing that he was in on it. Let's see. AOC attacks Gabbard for the present vote in the impeachment. People think that Trump is no longer president. I believe that one. You ask a lot of people out there and they hear the impeachment, they believe Trump is no longer the president because he was supposedly impeached. And they're saying Harvard law professor, Noah, I forget his last name, says that technically
it's not impeachment until it's transferred to the Senate.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that too. Got my opinion piece, your phone calls, and so much more. I've got Trump USMCA passes. He's going to sign it into law. Hillary and Pelosi celebrate impeachment. Technically, we just spoke about the impeachment not happening. It was law professor Noah Feldman. And what else? Biological male files lawsuit demanding entry into the female beauty pageant. Oh my gosh, it just never ends. And warns answer against top economics. Help me. Economics. Thank
It's
you.
a big word.
Big word. Okay, Bill, did you get to watch the debates last night?
I was driving, but I listened to probably 2/3 of it, I guess.
I couldn't do it. It's a 3-hour-long debate, man. How did you do it?
I was driving, so.
You were forced to listen.
Yeah, I mean, I was just bored, so.
I'll tell you what, since we talked about that, I've got a clip here of Elizabeth Warren. And this is what she says. Okay, we got an answer on the quotes. I'll get to them in just a second. They're asking Warren about her $8 trillion investment into the country. So everybody, I want you to listen up, pay attention. Here we go. Let me play it, and we'll talk about it.
Country. Every candidate on the stage has proposed tax increases on the wealthy, but you have especially ambitious plans that, apart from health care, would hike taxes an additional $8 trillion over the decade. How do you answer top economists who say taxes of this magnitude would stifle growth and investment? Oh, they're just wrong.
There you go. There's the answer. They're just wrong. No, nothing to back it up with. What do you think about that, Bill?
Well,
they're just wrong.
If I want an economics lesson, I'm not going to go to a law professor who had to basically lie her way into her first job by saying she was an American Indian. So, I mean, that's the last person. I mean, my family's chock full of lawyers, and while I love my family to death, very few of them are anybody I would go to for financial advice or economics or an economics lesson. I'm going to go to someone who's an economist, and she's the one that's wrong. There is no way. Right now, when we've had higher taxes, it has stifled the economy, and those taxes have been about $2-3 trillion. You know, going to $3 trillion whenever it stifles the economy. She's talking $8 trillion. That doesn't stifle the economy. That absolutely kills it. I mean, just absolutely kills it. So,
there's a short way to figure this out. If you're going to go to a person helping you with your finances, see what kind of house and car they drive. Okay? If you're going to go to a marriage counselor, see how many times they've been married. That type of deal. So you want to go to somebody who's got experience and a proven track record, and it doesn't look like she's got it.
This is where these debates kind of crack me up. Last night she attacked Pete Buttigieg for having a high dollar fundraiser out in California, and he turned on all of them and said, on this stage, I'm the only one who's not a millionaire or a billionaire
yet.
Now, but listen, this is where the media gets into it. Okay. The standard media is like, oh, he's a media darling. Look at him. He's the guy. He's the working class guy, blah, blah, blah. On the right side, on Fox News this morning, I hear, well, he must not be that successful then.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, and that's why, when you say it all the time, you got to look at various different sources for everything. You have to, because that's how the media plays this.
That's right. All right, everybody, look, I'm going to take a break. I want Aaron to stay on the line. We'll put you on after the break and see if you got the right answer to the question.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth, bring home those donut earrings, and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Shane, if you're listening to me out there in Radio Land, take that song off this board. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Love you. Hate that song. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It's December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. I'm with Susan Sterl.
If you're watching on the stream, you know, you're a wounded warrior now.
See, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here with Susan Sterl and Bill Whitmire, Republican Chair of Milam County. And I'm going to get Aaron on the line. I'm waiting for a little bit here. So supposedly they have the answer to the quotes. And Aaron, thanks for listening. Welcome to the show. Do you think you know it?
I think I do, Matt, but regarding the conspiracy theories, I'm not sure about the Illuminati, but I know that the castrati is real.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Okay, what else? Hey, who shot Kennedy, one or more?
Say again?
Who shot Kennedy, one or more people?
I don't know about that. I would imagine one, but I'm open to have my mind changed. But
Okay,
I believe the guy that quoted those things was Groucho Marx.
You got it. Absolutely correct. What gave it away? Was there a giveaway?
Yeah, it was the, I wouldn't join a club that would have me as a member.
Okay. Yeah, the one I thought that would hit me was the how the elephant got in his underwear he doesn't know, or his pajamas.
Yeah.
So, but okay.
I like that.
Aaron, you won. What would you like? You got a cup?
What are the choices?
I got a cup. I got pens. I got pill boxes. I got bags. I've got poster.
I will go for the bag.
You got it, man. I'll have your name on it. And do you know where Ed's office is in Temple on 31st and I?
Ed's office in Temple?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can find that.
All right, it's 30.
Hey, are y'all going to post anything on the web about the agenda for the upcoming Logic Fest?
Yeah, it should be posted up there soon. And I'll make sure to remind Shane about it and whoever else is working on that to post the event coming up. So just keep checking it out and you'll see it. And Ed's office is at 31st Avenue J. You'll see it. And I'll have it up front with Sissy and you can pick it up, okay?
All right. I look forward to seeing y'all there.
Yeah, same here. Talk to you soon. Thanks a
All
lot.
right. Take care.
All right, everybody. That was Aaron. He got the answer right. It was Groucho Marx. And we'll have his little prize.
Well, I did want to add that Jay called, and he wanted to know what the representative was that we highlighted yesterday And his name is Clay Higgins. He's represented from Louisiana.
That's right.
So you can just Google him or whatever, and all that stuff will come up. He's pretty awesome.
If you YouTube him, you'll probably scroll down and find the video of him when he was in law enforcement uniform. The video I played yesterday, I played it when he was captain, and then I also played it when he was on the House floor. So, I mean, just looking at him, you don't want to mess with this guy. This guy's got it going on. Okay. I got these other conspiracy theories, too. So give me a call if you got some comment on them. We had Who Shot Kennedy, Hollow Earth, Chemtrails, Aliens, New World Order, Underground Military Bases, Dark Side of the Moon, Illuminati, 9/11, Michelle Obama, is she a man or a woman? And did Epstein kill himself? Don't look at me like that, Bill.
Hey, man, it's Freestyle Friday.
It's free for all. That's it. Nancy Pelosi dubbed Swamp Mistress on New York Post impeachment front page. It's your funeral. I'm going to put it up here in front of the camera. That is so wild. The New York Post put that on the front page. I mean, they got crazy headlines a lot of the times, but Swamp Mistress. It fits. It's fitting. The New York Post labeled House Speaker Nancy Pelosi the Swamp Mistress on its Thursday post-impeachment cover that says the decision will backfire for Democrats in 2020. The tabloid put the news of President Trump's impeachment along the top of the front page before declaring Swamp Mistress Pelosi dresses in black for historic vote with the message, "It's your funeral." So what do you think on that, Bill? She's the Swamp Mistress.
It's fitting. It's fitting. I mean, it is fitting.
It said there are two things you should never watch being made, and that's sausage and government budgets. Now we can add impeachment to the list of stomach-turning sights to avoid. Goodwin wrote that the nausea meter hit the roof when Nancy Pelosi took the microphone sporting a funeral black dress to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I would have counted her more honest if she had pledged her allegiance to the Democratic donkey, Goodwin wrote. As the leader of the party that has marinated its mind in unadulterated hatred for President Trump, Pelosi bears unique responsibility for this calamity. She could have stopped it. And she could have, but she didn't want to. She's got a plan. She's got an agenda.
She can't stop it. If she stops it, she loses her job. Hers is job security. That's her whole plan. I mean, and if she realized that the far left will vote to take her out as speaker, she's not going to lose that speakership. She's lost it once. She doesn't want to lose it again. Next time she loses it, I think she probably retires.
I got a question.
All right.
Serious question.
Uh-oh.
Is it that simple where people just want to keep their jobs?
Yeah.
Or is it there's something darker? I can't believe these people will go to this extent to rip apart a constitution that is beautiful for keeping their job when there's other ways to do it.
I've seen, in my time as county chairman, I've seen it happen over and over again with people that go into office with the best of intentions, and after they're there for a while, they get institutionalized. There was a senator from the state of Georgia who was a good family friend named Zell Miller, and Zell was he was a Democrat when you had to be a Democrat in Georgia to win, and he stayed a Democrat his career, but he was probably a lot like Nunn, the other senator from first name escapes me. I can't think of his first name right at the moment, but Senator Nunn. They were both from Georgia, both super conservative Democrats when you could still be conservative or liberal inside the Republican or Democrat Party. And he even said that is the main problem is people go to Congress with the best of intentions, but it is such a sweet job being there, and that so many of them, they're only worried about job security and winning the next election.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We'll continue on with it. Get on the show yourself. Give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Love to hear what you got to say. See you on the other side.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got two more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
And welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. I'm with Bill Whitmire, Republican Chair of Milam County. It's always a pleasure to have you on, Bill. Lots of favorable comments about you being on. Susan, thank you for all you do. I've got Raymond on the line. Let me get Raymond on the line, and then we'll continue that conversation we had behind the mic. Raymond, stand by, and let's see what you got to say, brother. And you're on.
Yes, sir. I was just going to make a brief comment on the Democratic Party on their platform last night. If anybody was watching that debate, if you noticed, there was no American flags presented on that stage, and none of those people had an American flag on their lapel, on their suits. So basically, my question to everybody is, who are these people really representing? You know, are they really representing the United States of America, or they're just representing themselves to destroy America? You have a good day.
Well, Raymond, based on the conversation we were having here on this side of the mic, it's probably themselves. And did you notice, correct me if I'm wrong, were their podiums red in color? You'd think they'd be blue in color. Subliminal messaging going red. The red wave is coming. Go ahead, Raymond.
Yes, sir. Well, just like you observe body language, well, that's very good to understand that. Sometimes when a person observes different issues in different platforms, that's interesting too, to look at different things like that, and you are correct concerning that. But my main issue is, if they're representing the American people in the United States, why was there not any American flag present? And that's basically all I wanted to say, and I think that's very disrespectful. You have a good day, sir.
You too, Raymond. You might want to listen to this, because we're going to reiterate what we were talking about on the other side of the mic. Bill, we were mentioning how...
Well, we were talking before the break.
The cartoon, though, about...
Before the break, we were talking about, are these people really worried about job security? And I said yes. And I had the opportunity to go to D.C. and meet several congressmen, but one senator was a friend of the family, and and he was a very moderate Democrat named Zell Miller, and the one thing that always impressed me was their lifestyle. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy good. I mean, it's not. I mean, to go there and Senator Miller would tell us the biggest problem with new people is within 4 to 6 years they become enthralled with the lifestyle, and they love it. And you know they're treated well in town. You have vendors, you have PAC members, you have lobbyists, you have advertisers. They're taken care of. And the thing that always amazed me was these are, to me, ethical issues. But it was like I said, you know, but everybody does it. And if you have a politician that ever says, I don't do that, they are lying. They are lying. And the thing is if somebody's actually brought up on an ethical charge in D.C., it's got to be a mountain of an issue because everybody's doing it. Even the people on the Ethics Commission, they're doing it. But going back to what you were saying about the cartoon, D.C., the one thing you notice is D.C., last night or the other night, 2 nights ago, you saw the impeachment deal and all these people pointing fingers at each other, back and forth, back and forth. You're terrible, you're terrible. But I'll guarantee you, after the impeachment was voted on and the whistle blew and everybody got off work, half those people that were yelling at each other were down at the bar having a drink.
And that stuck out. When you said it, the light bulb
it's like
came
the
up.
sheepdog and the wolf in the cartoon. Once the work shift's over, they punch their card and go off to the pub and have a beer.
Collins, after it happened, was making his statement, and he goes, and I consider you all friends.
Yeah.
And I looked at that, and that rubbed me wrong. You're considering it friend. Here you're going to say what you say and stand up for the president. Great, everything's cool, I'm digging it. And then you say, well, you're my friend. How can you be friends with people who are ripping and shredding a beautiful document apart and false allegations towards a president or fluffing it up to make it look bad when there's no crime there at all? They cannot bring up a crime. And how can you say, well, you're my friends? I don't get it. That he went down a couple notches in my eyeball.
Yeah, it's a special sort of hypocrisy that runs rampant in D.C. And you showed that Post article, and it shows Nancy Pelosi as the Queen of the Swamp. Was that what they call it?
Swamp Mistress.
Swamp Mistress.
Or do you have to say?
And that's what it is. I mean, that when you talk about the swamp, and when President Trump brought that up, I mean, I don't always agree with President Trump, but when he brought up the word swamp to describe Washington D.C., I thought, man, what a better representation of what that place is. Because good people go there, and a lot of good people leave because it starts to scar them. And a lot of good people go there and become not so good people.
Do you think the politics also, like these people who punch the time clock and are friends again, is that politics too? Really, they're not friends? They're pretending to be friends to ensure that they can continue on?
Some of them might be, yeah. But when there's only 435 of them total up on the Hill, they got to be friends with someone.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We continue on 866-89-LOGIC. See you on the other side.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house.
And welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Today's December 20th, 2019. We're back again here. We got about 5 minutes left before the top of the hour, and we're going to postpone on the politics for a second. Saw this article. I want to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, do you think it should be illegal to burn the flag? Let's talk the American flag. Let's just talk. Do you think it should be illegal to burn the flag? 866-89-LOGIC. Iowa man gets 15 years in prison over burning the LGBTQ flag. Jury found man guilty of a hate crime. An Iowa man who was arrested after tearing down and burning an LGBTQ flag that was hanging at a church will spend at least 15 years behind bars. Adolfo Martinez, 30, was sentenced 15 years for the hate crime of arson, a year for reckless use of explosives or fire, meaning gasoline, and 30 days of harassment. He is very much opposed to our support of queer people, said Church of Christ pastor Eileen Gebbe of the arrest. And continues on here. After the story of Martinez being convicted, Gebbe, who's also a member of the LGBTQ community herself, said the experience changed her opinion of Ames for the better, the place where the church was located. Quote, I often experienced Ames as not being as progressive as many people believe it is, and there is still a very large closeted queer community here, she says. But 12 people that I know who have no investment in me or this congregation said this man committed a hate crime, and it was crime born of bigotry and hatred. Ladies and gentlemen, that's freedom of speech. Now, you can get him for stealing a flag, maybe.
You can get him for trespassing, stealing the flag, and the various different, stolen items and stuff. But
look,
and maybe reckless endangerment, depending on where he actually burned the flag at.
But to get 15 years for burning a flag, look, I've seen people firsthand clean windshields with the American flag, and I grind my teeth and I use my First Amendment right to say, "What the heck are you doing?" I've seen people burn the flag, spit on the flag, kneel in front of the flag, put down the flag. And I wore a uniform so that they could have that right to do it. And I would do it again because that's how important it is. I learned that a long time ago. I remember I was sitting at the kitchen table and my uncle was there and there was this conversation about burning the flag and my uncle was throwing a fit. He says, no, they can burn it. It's freedom of speech because if you take that away, then what else are you going to take away? And I couldn't understand his thought process. And then finally a light dawned, and I understand it. Burn it if you want. That's your right. But, man, I got the right to counter it as well.
Well, burn it. But here's the point about burning the flag. When you burn the flag, you lose your argument. Colin Kaepernick. Let's go back to Colin Kaepernick for a minute. He knelt during the national anthem. Once he knelt during the national anthem, once he did not stand up first, then he started kneeling because some veterans got on him about it. One of his teammates, who was a veteran, But when he started kneeling, his whole existence became about disrespect to the flag and not about what his actual argument was. If he would have gone to the police departments in the San Francisco area and said, hey, let us work with you. Let us help you understand our community. You know what? That would have gone a million times farther than kneeling during the national anthem. And so when you do that, you burn the flag. I don't care what flag it is. You lose your argument. You change the whole reason you're protesting something when you burn that flag. Look back to the crossing of the bridge in Selma back in the 60s. You know, you look at the picture 50 years later with Obama walking across the bridge with some of those, there's not a single, I think there was one American flag in all of that. But when you look back to when Dr. King and all of them marched, Bobby Kennedy and them marched, there were American flags everywhere on that bridge. You know, when you embrace the flag and bring it as part of your argument and use it with your argument, it goes a lot farther than when you burn that flag to try to make your argument or you disrespect the flag. When you, I guess the point I'm making is when you have respect for the country, your argument goes a lot farther than when you disrespect it. Now, going back to this, burning the gay flag, and we can call it whatever we want, LMNOP or whatever it is, but when you burn that gay flag, that's your First Amendment right. Now, if you trespass to get the flag, that's a whole different story. But for a court to base their, for a jury to base their whole thing on that being a hate crime.
As comparison to like you bought a gay pride flag, you went to a burn pit, you lit it on fire, you bought it, you owned it, you possessed it, you did your First Amendment freedom of speech, but here he went, stole it, blah, blah, blah.
Now, if
trespassing.
If there's, I can get the trespassing, but if they elevate that trespassing charge and all that because it's a hate crime, that's wrong.
And the reason I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, one, because it's ridiculous, and two, if you don't say anything, it can come to you sooner or later.
And it will. You're seeing it in Austin.
All right, we're going to take a break, top of the hour. We'll come back and continue on. Your phone calls, 866-89-LOGIC. Give us a call. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media, Facebook at Logic Nation Radio. And YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. See you on the other side.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Christmas is the time of year filled with expectations. Christmas is the time of year decked with decorations. Presents underneath the tree, caroling in harmony. You can hear it in the church bells as they chime, telling everyone it's Christmas time. Christmas is the time of year, time for celebration. Tiny children up at night in high anticipation. Candy canes and sugar plums, soldiers with their marching drums. When you feel the spirit in you start to climb, then you know for sure it's Christmas time. So sing a Merry Christmas song, fill your heart with laughter. Joy will be yours the whole year long, and happily ever after. Christmas is the time of year for loving one another. Everyone you meet and greet is a sister and a brother. So show the world how much you care. Shine your love light everywhere, and the world you see will be in perfect rhyme. When you feel the spirit in you start to climb, everyone will know it's Christmas time. Christmas is the time of year for loving one another. Everyone you meet and greet is a sister and a brother. So show the world how much you care. Shine your love light everywhere, and the world you see will be in perfect rhyme. When you feel the spirit in you start to climb, everyone will know it's Christmas
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Today's December 20th, 2019. Susan Sturl with me here, pusher of paint, poet of photography, rocket of rock and roll. I got Bill Whitmire, the Republican chair of Milam County. And we've got Gary on the line. And I'm going to get you on the line in just a second, Gary. But if you want to be on the show as well, give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio, and YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. And what I find very interesting, and Bill, I enjoy these conversations. I had a list here of conspiracies. I was just doing it because it was Free for All Friday, wanted to have some fun. And, you know, you can look at conspiracies, and the conspiracy may get pushed by a certain media as one way, but it doesn't answer a lot of questions. And so then the people go out there and start wondering. and it may be true that the people who are wondering may come up with a true answer that, let me say, an adjusted answer that may not be 100% true, but it's definitely more thorough than the first answer. So we're having this great discussion, and that's why I brought it up. I want to have some discussion about it. And I've got Who Shot Kennedy. I'm not even going to talk about that one.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much anything that people can't 100% prove. You're always going to have that one or two people or someone that's going to come up with a conspiracy theory as to what could have happened.
Well, Epstein's a perfect example.
Yeah.
That's a lot clearer. You know this guy got waxed, man. All right, let me get Gary on the line and see what he's got to say. Gary, I appreciate you listening, and you are on the air, buddy.
Yes, the other day, whenever Pelosi declared that the impeachment had passed, she made a statement, and just her demeanor and her face, she says, "This is a sad day for America."
Yeah, I wonder how she meant it, right?
Yeah, almost made me want to croak.
Now, Gary, this is a perfect example of what Bill and I were discussing, okay? Is Nancy Pelosi up there doing some type of evil thing to take over the presidency because if she can get Trump out and Pence out, she becomes president? Or is it just because she's holding her job? You see how you can look at it? And if you look at it one way, you come up with these thought processes. Or if you come up with the plain, because I asked Bill, I go, Bill, is it that simple where it's just a person wanting to keep their job? And Bill's very well aware of how politics works. I mean, he's got a lot of inside sources. So, Bill, reiterate on this stuff because, it just goes to show how somebody can look at it one way and you can come up with different thought processes like Pelosi's little smirk. Well, what does that really mean? It's a sad day for America. Does that mean because we're going to screw you? Or is it a sad day in America because she's playing politics looking really solemn in the matter?
Yeah, it's hard to tell what exactly she meant by that. I know what you're talking about, Gary. I watched that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, for her, I really feel that if she could have avoided it, she would have. She didn't really want this, and that was obvious in the first 8 months of this term. But here lately, she's got to, because that left-wing side, if she doesn't follow through with it, if she doesn't do it, she's going to lose her job as Speaker. She won't lose her job in the House, but she'll lose her job as Speaker, and that's the job she wants. She doesn't want anything else. If she was looking for the betterment of the country and the betterment of the Democrat Party, she wouldn't have run for Speaker this last time. She would have let somebody else step up and run for Speaker.
What type of person does it take to be a Speaker? Why is she so adamant? Because she's been it before. Why does she want to be that?
Well, sadly, a lot of it's just longevity in the House. You're the longest serving member, or you're the one that wants to step up. Should be. You need somebody like Tip O'Neill, who's a powerful enough House of Representative member. People will remember him from the 80s. He was powerful. He could get people on both sides of the aisles to do things, but he was also very civil with everybody. He had a lot of composure. I mean, he ate supper almost once a week with the president so they could sit down and talk about things that needed to get done for the country. But that was at a time when civility and compromise was the norm, when people weren't so far apart, and we're really, at the time, Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan were considered polar opposites. And now they would both be considered moderate Democrat or Republican.
But that's what I was saying about Reagan being the perfect person in 1980 to be elected, because he had all the finesse, the gravitas to connect Democrat and Republicans together, just like you're saying on Tip, because I remember those days very clearly.
Yeah. But going back to what it takes to be the speaker, to be the speaker now compared to in the 80s and before, now it's a lot more, I would call it showboating. You got to be a showboat. You got to be able to get out there and be a big, I think that's why Paul Ryan had issues at the time, because he wasn't a showboat. He was a roll-up-your-sleeves workman kind of guy. And just, I think Boehner was who he was. You had to go back to a Newt Gingrich to find the last Republican who was kind of that showboat guy that could get out there and make things happen. We haven't had that. I don't think Pelosi's there either. There's some Democrats, I think, that are in office right now that would be a much better speaker and be able to get things done. I think there's some Republicans out there that aren't in leadership that would be much better. We would be much better served by. But it's a time in service type deal. You got to have that extra time to be even thought of to be a speaker.
Bill, is my practical side hold on, Gary. I'll let you say something in a second. Is my practical side being ridiculous when I'm saying if they really just did the people's work, wouldn't that secure their position in power?
You would think so.
So,
But it wouldn't serve those people in Washington up and down K Street that are looking for money. Those lobbyists, those PACs, those advertisers. I mean, realistically, it's the folks. It's not the folks in power that have the power in D.C. It's the folks on K Street. It's the folks that are working in those chief of staff positions. Those are the folks with the real power in D.C. Those are the power. When you watch those Senate and those House committees and you see some of those older guys reach over every now and then and whisper something in those representatives' ears, there's your power. There's your power.
Gary, do you have another comment?
Yes, I was sitting here thinking, do you think, and I'm going to throw this out, do you think it's one person pulling all the strings? I say one person by the name of Soros.
No, I don't. I think it's a bunch of people. I mean, depending on how you look at it, Bill is kind of touching on it. You got people in positions, but those positions are run by a group of people with more power than they, and you don't see them. They're the people in the shadows. So there's multiple people.
Now, Obamacare wasn't written by representatives. Obamacare was written by the pharmaceutical and the medical insurance industry. That's who wrote Obamacare. So when they say this is going to be better for them, it's an old Reagan thing. When the government comes and says this is better for you, watch out, because it's not. And that's where we are. And I mean, the best thing we could do for campaign finance reform is force every candidate, winner or loser, to close that campaign account and liquefy all that money to charities after 90 days after the election, and no sitting senator or House representative member can open their election account until 30 days before filing period.
That's why it's so important to associate with people who have a running history of credibility. Not everybody, not Bill, myself, or you, Gary, are all interested in the same things. So we're masters at our own things. And if we can build credibility, we could be people that we can come to explain to others who are asking questions. And that's why it's so important to get past the headlines and the bullet points.
Just remember this. Elizabeth Warren funded the opening of her presidential campaign with $10 million out of her Senate campaign fund. $10 million she had stored up in there because she never closed those accounts.
You talk about this all the time. That's right. All right, we're going to take a break. Gary, thanks for the call. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue on. 866-89-LOGIC. See you on the other side. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Petros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin. Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in names and numbers.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it going to be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Well, I thought we were top of the hour. Lost track of time. Welcome back, everybody. December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host. We've been talking politics, getting phone calls, talking conspiracy theories just for the fun of it. And I want to give a quick, I'll give 5 of the top ones here. Who shot Kennedy? Was it one or more? What about chemtrails? New World Order. What's the deal with the New World Order? Are there underground military bases? Of course there are. Okay. 9/11, was it an inside job? And this is the big one. This is the ultimate. This is a big one. Michelle Obama, is she a man or is she a woman?
Well, it could be a big one.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there, but you.
I'm staying out of it.
Okay. 866-89-LOGIC. Give us a call. Stream us live at logicnation.us. I've got an article here. I was trying to find the audio, and I screwed it up, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just read it. What planet is she on? Pelosi calls impeachment bipartisan. Speaking to reporters on Thursday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made the absurd statement that the House impeachment proceedings were bipartisan.
I thought it was all absurd.
It's
really,
it is.
I mean, it's an absurd statement, but it's all kind of absurd, the whole deal.
Here's her quote. It really is interesting to see the response. Maybe I should talk one like my teeth are going to fly out. It really is interesting to see the response that we were getting, bipartisan across party lines.
What parties? The Democrats and the Communists?
Now, she may be saying, I don't know what she's saying.
I thought the Democrats were the communists.
But they lost.
Me too.
They lost 3 Dems. The Republicans stick together. They lost 3 Dems. Gabbard was a present vote. What do you think about that, Bill?
What?
About Gabbard saying present not yay or nay. I think she's covering her CYA, man.
You know, she made a statement this morning about it, and I'm not even going to worry about quoting any of it because it was kind of farcical at best. You know, basically I don't think she wanted to commit one way or the other, and didn't know how to walk it back.
I'll tell you what she did. You know? In my opinion, what she did was, no, he's not guilty, but I sure as heck don't like it. So I'm not going to get in this fray. I'm just going to say my present thing will be there. He ain't guilty, but I'm not going to say I like the guy
Well,
either.
as she's been running for president, she's said over and over and over and over again that we shouldn't be going through impeachment because we should vote him out of office. But then when you get in there, and she is at the end of the day still a Democrat, if she wants to win, she's got to be a Democrat in Hawaii. And if she votes against impeachment, she loses in Hawaii because she's already a moderate in a fairly liberal state. And so she won as a moderate Democrat. But if she votes for it, she changes her position since day one of the presidential election. And if she votes against it, she probably cripples herself on re-election in Hawaii. So
now
it's a politician playing politics.
This is a very important question. When Hillary was running, she wore a white jumpsuit. Everybody praised her for it. Then Gabbard wears, and they knock her down. So what do you think, Bill? Who wears the white jumpsuit better, or the white pantsuit better? Is it Gabbard or is it Hillary?
Nobody wears a pantsuit like Hillary, man. Nobody wears one.
That's a bad visual.
And I'm going to tell you something. I'm thankful for that nobody wears it because I don't think I could handle 2 women wearing it the same way. I honestly, I have a lot of respect in a lot of ways for Tulsi Gabbard. She's a veteran. She She wasn't just an office veteran either. She was out there doing things.
No,
I
agree with you there.
Yeah, and I think some of her foreign policy positions are fairly strong. I mean, I think where she loses me. Well, I don't think I know where she loses me is with her social standing, but as far as fiscally and to a certain extent foreign policy, I think she's pretty strong. And she's attractive, and that bothers a lot of Democrats too, because the last thing they want is an attractive woman running for anything. You know, they want that Elizabeth Warren, that Michelle Obama,
well, she
that
fits
Kamala
the bill.
Harris.
I'll tell you that.
You know, I think the funny thing last night was here's the party of inclusion, the Democrats, and you have one Asian candidate left, and all the other minorities.
But you
are
got
gone.
a gay guy up there.
Well,
and doesn't that cover all the
but
bases?
he's a white guy. But he's a white guy.
But he's a white guy.
He's a white guy having a party in a wine cave in California to raise money.
Mad Magazine, right?
You know, and that's the funny thing is, I think once you thinned everything down and you get an Andrew Yang up there, that dude looked pretty strong last night. I mean, he said a lot of the right things as far as the Democrats go. He's the one guy I think that if you look at who would do a good job of capturing the center, I think Yang would do a pretty good job. I think Gabbard would do a pretty good job. At the end of the day,
I'm not worried about
at
who
the end of the
captures
day.
center.
That's where you got to be worried.
No, I'm not worried about that.
You
I'm
win
worried
elections by who wins the center.
That's not my point. I know where you're getting at. My point is this. I look at what Trump has been doing with foreign leaders when it comes to protecting our country. These guys, these gals can't do what Trump is doing.
Okay, but you don't win. Despite what the Democrats think, you don't win the election by foreign countries voting. You win the election by where the center of the country votes.
I understand that.
And so
Totally
those two
did.
now Yang and Gabbard don't really have a chance to win the nomination, so it's not a big issue. But those are the two people that I think best would be the fundamentally, as far as electorate goes, would be the best candidates for the Democrats to push. Because if you push a Warren, you push a Bernie, you push a Biden, they get slaughtered in November because they're only going to appeal to the far left.
I must be crazy because all I'm looking for is somebody who can protect my borders, beef up my military, get my economy going, be able to deal with world leaders. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking out of the box, I guess. And the only person who can freaking do that is the guy we got in the office right now. Because when I look at all these other people, they can't do it. Now you got a lot of conservatives or Republicans who are mentally smart, but they don't have that what is needed right now. Now I got Raymond on the line. Let me get him on, and then I've also got RC. RC, please stand by for a minute. And I got Raymond on line one. So Raymond, what's on your mind, buddy? You want to talk about Kennedy's assassination?
Yes, sir. I was wanting to make a statement concerning the Kennedy assassination. Even the top government officials have their theory. The public has their theory. Everybody has their theory. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to always be an unsolved mystery, but this is my theory. You know, I don't know if anybody interviewed the driver of that limousine, but the way I look at it, in order for somebody to take a shot at somebody, it has to have a level speed. It has to be 30 miles an hour where he was going, for the limousine to stay steady so he can have a good sight picture on the person that he's going to shoot. And if that limousine is not steady, going at a steady speed, he won't have a good side picture to hit his target. And that's just my theory, and I would like to see what y'all have to say about that. You have a good day. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Raymond. You know, I got a comment already. Look, I've seen videos of this over and over. I've seen videos that a lot of people don't see, and you've got hundreds of people running towards the grassy knoll. You got a motorcycle cop running to the grassy knoll, running up on top of the grassy knoll, looking up at the wall and seeing who the heck just ran away from that position. Then you got videos where the driver looks like he turns around and shoots the president in the head. And then you've got Secret Service maybe who've done something where accidentally the rifle goes off and hits him. But I'm telling you, it's two shots. It's not one shot. It's two shots. The magic bullet is to cover something. I don't know. But that's where that's at. You got a comment, Bill, before I go to RC?
Well, I don't even – I'll be honest with you. I know there's two that hit, okay, and there's so much evidence about the grassy knoll. There may have been somebody over there, but I don't think the grassy knoll shot, if there was a shot taken from over there, I don't think that one actually hit.
Here's the problem. When you look at it, and I know you know this.
Yeah.
When you look at somebody and they clasp their chest, which direction did the shot come from? It didn't come from the rear. It came from the front. Bam! There, you clinch it.
Yeah.
The other one blew his freaking head off. 2 different directions and 2 different people. All right, I got RC on the line, and we'll debate this further, but I don't want RC to wait. RC, it's a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, as a doctor, I will tell you, the Crenshaw guy at the hospital said it like it was. The bullet went in the front right temple, came out the back right side of his head. That's just a matter of fact. Now, he also said the entrance wound in the lower part of his throat was from the front. He knows what he's talking about. He's handled hundreds of gunshot cases. Anyway, what I was going to ask is 2 things.
Well, wait a minute, RC. You just raised my eyebrow. Does that mean 2 different directions, 2 different people, or 1 person, 2 shots?
He was shot from 2 different directions, but 2 shots came from the front. All right. Now, also, the government got rid of the real investigation that was done by John Orr just about 15 or so years ago when he was allowed into the National Archives to research all this stuff. Also, I would like to say, I'm sorry that music cut.
I'll tell you what, RC, I want to hear what you got to say. Can you hold on for a couple of minutes?
All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. Give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. I got RC on the line. I want to get him on real fast. I don't want to keep him waiting. RC, you're on the air, buddy. Go ahead, buddy.
All right. You know, you might want to look at the video called Secret Service Stands Down.
I saw it, and I was just talking about it.
Okay, great. I thought you were doing that the way you were pointing things out there. Anyway, you know, people tend to not remember the House Judiciary investigation on assassinations, which discounted and disproved the Warren Commission. They did agree it was a conspiracy, but they didn't know who else was involved. John T. Orr also examined the .30 caliber slug that was dug out of the dash of the presidential limousine. Now, I'll also like to say something about, I'd like to ask y'all a question. Do y'all know the difference between the DNC and Epstein?
No.
No, go ahead. What are you talking about?
All right. Epstein did not commit suicide.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
The DNC is committing suicide. That's his
Everybody, all these people talk about how great this Tulsi Gabbard is. Well, let me tell you, she is anti-2A. So, sorry, but the only way I could stand behind her is if I was married to her. You'll have a great weekend.
RC, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks. And keep watching. Keep watching. All right, give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Stream us live at logicnation.us, social media at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio, and YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. Now listen, we're having an awesome conversation here because Bill and I were talking about chemtrails and we're talking about assassination here. And what I'm arguing is what they're presenting, what they're trying to dish you to swallow. And I'm saying I'm not going to swallow that pill. I may not have the exact answer, but I know it's not the answer they're giving us. So it makes it for interesting conversation.
Well, I think the thing we both agree on, and I think most people do with the Kennedy assassination, is that Oswald, while he may have gotten a shot, maybe two off, was not the main dude, was not the dude that – it wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald.
And I think my comment, was okay, and that was he was the patsy. He took the shots. They know he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn probably, so they had the expert who could take the shot, and that's my thought.
If he's the only guy that's involved, then Jack Ruby doesn't kill him. But 2 days later, in the basement of the Dallas PD, Jack Ruby comes out of nowhere. A known mob guy comes out of nowhere and shoots him on live TV.
And they let him come in.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there is no conspiracy, if Lee Harvey Oswald is the only shooter and there's no conspiracy, then Jack Ruby's not there to kill him.
The other one would be the New World Order. I'll throw that out there and I'll tell you my thoughts on it. There is, you got people in positions of power and then there's people above them in the secret hideaways behind the curtains. There's other people who run the planet, okay? And that's based on corporate monies, favors, people in positions of other influential power and all that. And then the other one that I think is interesting, and it doesn't really matter to me, I don't care to be honest with you, is Michelle Obama. A lot of people say that she's a dude, and I don't really care. I just think it's funny. So whatever trips your trigger, that's whatever, okay? Just don't try to push policy down my throat here. Bill, where are we at? I got a whole bunch of stuff here about politics. Is there anything that tripped your trigger or floated your boat when it came to the Democratic debate or the impeachment that we want to hit? Because I got a lot of articles here. I don't even know where to go first because there's so much to talk about. We got AOC attack Tulsi Gabbard. Go ahead.
Just go back for a second. You know, right now the big thing is, okay, you've passed impeachment in the House, but you haven't forwarded it on to the Senate.
Yeah.
And somebody last night at a party asked me, you know, what is the life of this? How long does this last? Well, here's the thing: if she does not, and some people have talked about her not doing it till the next election. If she doesn't do it, if she doesn't forward that till November, I think she'll forward it after the first of the year. But if she was, let's say, to hold on to that until the next election, then McConnell would never accept it into the Senate. He has to accept it into the Senate, has to put it on trial until the expiration of this Congress and the swearing in of the next Congress, because my understanding is once you reach that point, that's the statute of limitations on that impeachment charge if it has not been presented to the Senate.
Reiterate what you just said. If it
doesn't get there before January of 2021, after the next election, and some people have said that she'll hold on to it through November until the presidential election. If she does that, I don't think she can, but if she does that, then McConnell doesn't accept it and it goes away and they have to redo the whole process with the next Congress. The thing is, I think they're going to do that. She's going to forward that on. She's just trying to hold out. The other thing is that she knows the longer she holds out, the more it hurts Democrat candidates. And if she was to hold out till November, I think it would decimate the Democrat Party.
Does it hurt them,
in
or
the
is
House.
it she understands the American public's memory process, and that is in 30 days it's forgotten?
Here's the thing: there have been multiple polls where they've asked voters what their biggest thing is, and I think it's like 12% say it's impeachment.
All right, everybody, look, I'm fixing to take a break, and I've got Rick on the line. Rick, keep driving, buddy. We're going to get you on the air in just a minute here. We'll take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll get you on the air. See you on the other side. 866-89-LOGIC.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
All
Sarge Coons, the owner of ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to ANC Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. ANC Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind.
And welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. I got Susan Sterling, Bill Whitmire, Republican Chair of Milam County. I've got Rick on the line. Rick, I want to get you on without further ado. I know you've been holding tight there. Stay between the lines, buddy, when you're driving, and welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Oh, not much, but hands-free all the time.
Okay, I feel safer already.
But the impeachment, all I got to say is about that is the day after they voted for impeachment, the stock market hit new highs, all three markets. That's
What?
how much the people are worried about it.
Yeah, I get your point. I get your point.
All right. Yeah, I mean it's we're tired of hearing about it.
And the
McConnell
polls
just
show it.
needs to
CNN
say,
polls show it. Everybody shows it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, the assassination of Kennedy. There was more than one shooter. Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't that good, and the kill shot came from the front.
Check.
I don't care what you say. The Zapruder tape shows that.
Yes, sir. Check
Who
3.
was? There's quite a few people that could have been involved in it.
Check 4.
Lyndon Johnson wasn't going to be his running mate again. He always wanted to be president.
Check 5.
Lady Bird Johnson owned Browning Root, who did most of the work in Vietnam. He was going to come out of He was going to pull out of Vietnam.
That's right. Check 6.
His brother, he said he sicked his brother. He sicked his brother on the mafia.
Not sure on that one.
And he was on Robert RFK was the attorney general, and he was cracking down on the mafia at the time.
Yeah, okay. I recall that. I'm not top on that, but okay. I got 2 other people.
And
okay, check.
Castro had a beef with Kennedy because Kennedy wanted to overthrow Castro.
Check. So
All
you
right,
got
now-
lots of reasons to kill this guy, and somehow it happened. But there's other possibilities.
I'm not saying I can't. That's just my theory.
Okay, so the
That's all
answer to my
that is.
question on conspiracy theory is 1 or 2, and it's multiple. So it's multiple shots. All the others up for
I
speculation.
mean,
although-
Kennedy had already signed an executive order to pull out of Vietnam. He'd already signed an executive order to pull out of Vietnam.
He was coming out of there.
Yeah. And within 24 hours or 48 hours of Johnson taking over, he rescinded that executive order.
Exactly, because Lady Bird Johnson owned Browning Root at the time, and they did all the construction over there.
I'll tell you what you profit here in this life, you're going to be wishing you didn't in the afterlife. I'll tell you that.
Yep. All right. Now, as far as the chemtrails, my 8th grade science teacher said that was the wings splitting up the water particles up there making clouds.
Yeah, it can be from pressure from the wings, and depending on the side. Like if you watch a B-52, it's huge. It could be from the engines, changing the pressure from the engines, and also the temperature, and what sustains it. We were actually talking about it off the air. I think part of what sustains it is when those water particles can freeze onto various different particles left over from the fuel, such as sulfur and stuff, and And I think Matt he's probably right. It has changed over the years, but
Well, that was my point. My point was
so has the fuel.
Don't tell me there's no chemtrails.
Yeah, so has the fuel. The fuel that we use has changed too, and that probably plays. But it all plays a part. The fuel, the pressure, the humidity up in the air, the wind. What the wind is up there. All that plays a part of it. Is it a diabolical plot to kill people? I don't think so.
See, that's the point.
So,
I want to make that very clear. I want to make sure that people understand. I'm saying don't tell me there's no such thing as chemtrails. Chemtrails exist. And what it is, it's from going from the old types of fuels or something, and you got new fuels that are making a byproduct that looks like chemtrails. So there are chemtrails. Now, what's its purpose? There may not be nothing other than it's a byproduct of the fuel. Once you get past that point, then that's the conspiracy part of it. All I'm saying is don't tell me, because I remember looking at the sky for years. The contrails would dissipate in minutes, but these cover the entire sky. And it's probably because, like Bill had said, they've changed fuel how many times when you're in there?
In the
times?
14 years I was in the Navy, we changed the basic composition of our fuel 3 times for environmental purposes.
All right, so you got all those chemicals burning out the backside of an engine. It's going to do something different than a normal condensed air.
It can, yeah.
There you go. All right. Anything else there, buddy?
That's all.
All
Y'all
right,
have a
man.
good
Keep
day.
trucking and stay safe. All right, partner?
All right, later, man.
All right,
Bye.
later. I got RC on the line. RC, it's good to have you back. And what's on your mind today?
Well, since y'all got talking about this assassination, there's a bunch on my mind.
Oh, gosh, RC, I keep getting you on a bad time. Hold on. I want to hear what you got to say.
Hold on. All right.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council. Adopt U.S. Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Oh, come on, ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. We're going to go right to RC because I don't want him waiting too long. RC, thanks a lot for holding. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, I got a whole bunch. What's funny is they asked the elder George Bush where he was at the time of the assassination of JFK, and unbelievably, he said he didn't remember where he was. Now, at that time, he was a young CIA member, and they have pictures of him standing on the corner of the Texas School Book Depository the day of the assassination. Another thing. Now, and you can Google that, and you can see those pictures. Now, JFK signed his death warrant in so many ways. He and Lincoln were both going to take out the central bank, which at the time of JFK was the illegal, as far as I'm concerned, Federal Reserve, which of course is not owned by the government, but by, I will say, New World Order people.
Yeah, yes. Now, okay. I agree.
Okay. LBJ, JFK also, we had advisors in Vietnam only, and JFK made a big mistake when he said, we will never have a war in Vietnam. JFK's wife, family owned a lot of Bell helicopter and Sea Container and Brown and Root, as the previous caller said. They made billions out of this war. And I tell you what, you might want to pull up this little video called George Bush Smiles, Remembering the Death or At the Death of JFK, whenever he was talking over the coffin of Gerald Ford. Now, if we'll remember, we had the Bay of Pigs invasion. After that fiasco, JFK signed his death warrant again. He said he would blow up the CIA into 1,000 pieces. The gentleman who started the CIA later has come to regret and voiced his regret over having started and instituted that organization. So there's a lot of food for thought there. And
there's a lot of food for
a-
thought, and we can keep talking about it, but I want to just tell everybody, once you reach a certain altitude, you make yourself a target, and once you're a target, you become on a Clinton hit list of sorts. So we can talk about it all we want, but once we start getting past that altitude line and they can track you, that's
well, somebody just sent me a deal says, hey, that the Clinton death list had nothing on LBJ's death list.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Have a
great. That's
weekend.
great history. I'm totally into stuff like this because I'm tired of listening to what they want me to know, and I want to learn what is needed to know. And you just got to do your homework, and that's why I keep saying, get past the headline,
Matt.
get past the bullet points. Yes, sir.
Hey, Matt, you know, Trump had said he was going to release all the information on the JFK assassination.
Yes, I remember
And he
that.
had to back down from that. He did not release it all.
Yes. And
He also said he was going to declass everything. And later he backed down and he said, well, some of this stuff is just better for people not to ever become aware of. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, RC. I appreciate it. And that could go a couple of different ways. It could go because it's private for the security of the nation, or it could go, oh my gosh, I can't believe the nation had done that. So there's two different ways to look at it. Yeah. And maybe if we're going to trust in him, we got to trust in his opinion. And what do you think about this? What if there were aliens? Do you think the public could handle knowing there's aliens? I'm not saying there are. I'm just saying if there was.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. I and a friend of mine were sitting up in a mesquite tree in about 1967, 68. I can't remember exact. I could find it by going through the newspapers in the Corpus Christi Caller Library. We were sitting up a tree cracking daylight down in South Texas, and 3 flying saucers came over us, and that was on a Saturday morning. We were afraid to tell anybody. I finally broke down and told my mom. That evening, she thought I was crazy. And thankfully, the next morning, she had a smile on her face when she woke me up for Sunday school. And she had a copy of the paper showing all of the airline pilots that had reported seeing UFOs as they were flying into Corpus that morning. So there's some spooky stuff out there, guys. Let me tell you.
Wow.
I appreciate it.
That's interesting. RC, I appreciate you telling us all that. All right, we're going to take a break. We're getting close to the top of the hour break here. So if you want to be on the show, give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. We're talking politics, impeachment, conspiracy theories, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you got some input, give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio and YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. Top of the hour break. See you on the other side.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
It's the only truth in me. I say Happy New Year. I say Happy New Year. You know I hate to see them go, but after the last one, I can't wait for tomorrow. Letting go of anything is something I don't celebrate. But only getting older and it's something I hate. Maybe this time it'll be fine. on to the new. I must admit, I think a makeover is overdue. So I say Happy New Year. I say Happy New Year. You know I hate to see them go, but after the last one, I can't wait for tomorrow. I say Happy New Year. I think I'll open a beer. I bet this one lasts half as long, but from the old one to the new one, bring it on. Yes, from the old one to the new one, bring it on.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host, here with Susan Sterl. I got Bill Whitmire, Republican Chair of Milam County. You want to be on the show, give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio and YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. We were talking about the impeachment, and I had an article here just to show that it's so important not to just read headlines and bullet points. It's got idiots think impeachment means Trump no longer president. Wednesday's partisan House impeachment vote led confusion among the less politically informed, as many believed an impeached president would have to leave the White House. And however, people under the impression that the impeachment meant Trump was no longer president were in for a rude awakening. There's a lot of people here saying, "Oh, great, when's Pence going to take over?" And I think you've got some firsthand experience on that, right?
Yeah, we've had several people. Probably 40 people yesterday called or texted or wanted information about it, and several of them asked me that. At least 3 asked me. So when's Vice President Pence take over? And I just said, about probably about 2014, 2024 when he runs for president.
That's right.
He's not taking. Here's an interesting thing that I've been looking into also because somebody asked me about it last night. Is that during the Clinton impeachment, there was actually a change to the law that would have allowed Clinton to serve past his second term in office. And there are some legal scholars that are looking into this now because there is the distinct possibility that because this impeachment charge happened when it happened, if it goes to the Senate, and this may be why Pelosi's holding off on it, there's an opportunity that it would give
10 years.
It would give another 3 years for Trump to serve, which pushes him out to what would end up being 11 years, and he could run for re-election not only this time, but next time again because of that.
I heard that too. But
yeah,
I wasn't.
And I've been looking into it and trying to follow up with it. And I have a friend that's pretty high up in the judiciary here in the state, and he said that he was at a luncheon 2 days ago, and somebody brought that up to him, and it was interesting because he never heard about it, and he started looking into it, and there were changes to the law specific to Clinton, but because Clinton's impeachment, or not Clinton, I'm sorry, to Nixon's, but because Nixon's impeachment never got completed, no one ever took those off the books. And that was in 74, 73 when those were put on the books. And so now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, crud, we might have a law on the books that none of us were aware of. Meaning that if they try Trump and then he's not found guilty, he could run for another term, possibly. And so there's a lot of legal scholars. I'm not saying that's what the law is. I'm just saying there's a lot of legal scholars looking at it. And somebody last night asked me, well, why didn't Clinton run for a third term? Well, remember, Clinton was impeached at the very end of his second term.
Right.
And so it wouldn't have affected him the same way. And when they started an impeachment inquiry on Nixon, it actually was during his first term. So it's an interesting spin to everything else. So, it's one of those, who knows, hold on to your shoes.
All right, Bill, Susan, you already know this because you answered the call. I got Jim on the line, wants to talk Assassin Nation. Let's see what he's got to say. Jim, and I appreciate you listening. Thanks for calling. You're on the air. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, I was just going to jump in there where some guys said some things a while ago, and there was kind of like you didn't remember that, and it was doing with Bobby mainly. But yeah, see, the mafia, if you'll remember and go read the books, the mafia was brought into this thing by their daddy. You know how the Kennedys made their fortune.
Yes.
It was during bootlegging. He had a lot of friends in that mafia group. And on top of that, if you'll remember, JFK shared a girlfriend with Sam Giancana, the Don in Chicago, until he got killed.
Not familiar with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, they had the same mistress at one point.
Yeah, well, I think her name was Judith Exner or something like that. But then when Bobby became an attorney general, he did go after the mafia. Matter of fact, do y'all remember hearing about when, do you know who, dadgummit, out of New Orleans, Carlos Marcellus, when he got deported kind of on the spur of the deal to somewhere down in South America, those were Bobby Kennedy's boys that grabbed him, put him on a plane, they flew him to South America and put him out. And then he showed up back in New Orleans. He was the head of the mafia in New Orleans for years, for a long time. And then Giancana got killed, but they were all involved or suspected of being involved in that Bay of Pigs invasion. I mean, it's all tied together. as LBJ being crooked, that man had to screw his underwear on.
This is so amazing because I pride myself on trying to be as knowledgeable as I can on if I'm into a specific topic, I try to get the information. And this has intrigued me. But when you come and talk on the line, there's things there's still stuff I need to learn. And that's why I go back to people listening to headlines and bullet points. You got to go past the headlines and the bullet points to get the true information.
Well, one other thing, don't forget. I always remember how LBJ got to Washington. They stole an election from Hunt. I think it was Tower, John Tower. Excuse me. Yeah. They stole the election from him, and there was 3 guys that worked together in South Texas. The Duke of Duval County, Mr. Parr, Lloyd Benson's daddy,
good old Lloyd,
and a man named Clint Mangus. They were all big buddies. They were tied up to their necks in real estate business. Old man Parr, he owned all the water rights in Duval County. That's how he controlled that county. And when LBJ got elected, they suspected and went out and checked, and they found that a whole bunch of dead Hispanics had voted. They went out to the cemetery and got a bunch of names. And they were buying these land grant parcels from these Mexican people that had been given this land who knows how long ago. And that's how they got into their fortune, and that's how they were tied in with LBJ. They got him elected, and I know you may remember hearing about this, about the mysterious fire in the Duval County courthouse basement. There was a certain ballot box that was highly suspected of being bad news for Johnson. And all of a sudden, they went down there and checked that, and that ballot box had sat right there in that basement and burned up.
My, how convenient.
No kidding, man. When you can have selective fire, that ain't bad.
Selective hanging like Epstein.
It's amazing. It really is. What we do is if we can answer these questions with confidence, we can say, hey, it happened before. It's happening. It can happen again. It's happening now. Don't be naive. Don't look at things at face value. I used to be the blue pill person. I used to be like, the government's here to protect me, so on and so forth. And then I took the red pill, and oh my gosh, when you take the red pill, you wake up. And it's almost like the movie Matrix said, I wish I never took the freaking red pill. I just want to eat that fake steak and think I'm enjoying my dinner. All right, man, I appreciate the call. Thanks for the info. We're going to take a break. We'll come back on the other side and continue on. See you on the other side.
All right. Thank you. Great show, guys.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Betros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin. Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Today's December 20th, 2019. We're having a lot of fun today. You know, we're talking politics. We're talking conspiracy theories for giggles. You know, there's not really much you can do about a conspiracy theory except talk about it and weigh in on just and say, hey, this is what I think. This is what I think. But it's also a good way to enhance, teach, learn, experience the method of doing detective work and trying to find out information. And you can apply that to everyday current events. When a headline comes out and bullet points come out, you can apply the same detective power that you're trying to find an answer to a conspiracy theory and apply it to the newspaper, which half the time is a conspiracy theory.
Well, it definitely sparks interest.
Interest,
and gets people interested in what happened.
I got Con on the line. He wants to weigh in here. So, Con, welcome to the show. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, it's just really, really hard for me to follow your last caller because he apparently has a very, very excellent memory, and he's dadgum sure dead on right. He also has enough guts to repeat what really happened. And I would just like to add one thing to that, and that is that anyone today who looks at all the facts involved in the John Kennedy assassination, if you believe Lee Harvey Oswald killed John Kennedy with a 6.5 Italian Carcano rifle, shot twice in 3/4 of a second at a moving target from 100 yards away, you are naive as a flat rock.
Well, I agree, but I also think Bill's point is very valid, and that is he was part of it. Although he may not have hit, he may have took some shots, but I think the shots that hit were those who were experts in their field and did what they had to do, or it's some super seriously ridiculous accident, which I don't follow on that one, but I think it's just Oswald was the patsy who took the fall.
Well, he was the fall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They set him up to take the fall.
His family was taken care of afterwards, so, well, not tremendously well, but
enough.
But I'm just saying, how naive do we have to be to believe that he did what they said he did? There ain't no way. My brother had an Italian Carcano rifle about that same period of time. He bought it in the Sears catalog for $17. It was a pure piece of junk.
That was $16 too much, probably.
Yeah, it was. But if you believe that he fired that gun twice accurately in 3/4 of a second, you don't know anything about guns. And we won't get off into that any deeper, but I'm just saying I applaud the man who called in before me because he has a very, very good memory.
That would have been Jim.
Well, if we don't remember mistakes of history, we are destined to repeat them.
Exactly.
Somebody smarter than me said that.
That's why I bring this up, because if we can learn how to do our detective work on these conspiracies and have fun and maybe even find out some facts, we can apply those skills towards current day events so that people can't pull the wool over our eyes. Okay.
Well, and if you remember what happened then when you see it happening again, we might do something to stop it.
A perfect example, Con, would be look, I'm one of the most archaic kind of guys out there, okay? I'm a dude, I'm a guy, rough around the edges, and I went and taught Bible study to young children because I came from the gutter. I know what the street's like. I know what happens, and I can see it happening in the eyes and the actions of small children because I've been there. And so if we know what it's like and has happened, we can see it before it happens, that we're not going to do that. I know where that's going to lead. So you're absolutely right.
Well, whether you're reading the Bible or just current history, not the too far distant past, if you can't learn from the mistakes that they made or they allowed to be made, then you're destined to repeat them, and that's what we're doing today. Look at the fall of Rome, with all of the homosexual activity and all that kind of stuff. Apply that to what's happening in America today.
I said that quote to myself yesterday. Last night, I said exactly what you just said. I said, this is Rome. We are the superpower Rome, and we're right where Rome was before it fell. I totally agree. Con, I got another caller on the line. I appreciate your call. Let me get Craig on the line. Craig, I appreciate you calling and listening. What's on your mind, buddy? Craig, talk to me.
Good morning, man. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing okay. Craig, how are you doing? What's on your mind?
I'm a little frustrated, partner. That's what I am. I'm an ex-cop, man. I've got 16 years under my belt, man. Trying to do the right thing whenever I was in, And I'm all about see something, say something. So last couple of days I've been observing some crap going on over here in the big city of K-Town. And didn't like what I saw. I had the opportunity to call in and speak with the FBI this morning. Local branches, there's not one in Bell County, so you either call Austin or you call Waco. So I call local, the one that was open the quickest this morning was Austin. They answered the phone, and I told him what I saw, and he's like, man, that's way weird,
Well, tell everybody, what did you see, Craig?
Well, partner, I talked to two people who have leased a building, and what I would call the lowest of low part of town, and in a really rundown part of town, no air conditioning, no anything in the building that has a full. I went to go meet them because they were kind of my neighbor.
Okay, we're running out of time, Craig. So you got to tell me, what'd you see? So for the sake of time,
I saw an IT bank that was set up in there with two huge turbine engines that are being run by two huge red generators and a cooling station in a separate room that is totally unexplainable. And these two foreign nationals told me that they were IT banks, but they wouldn't tell me what they go to. So I called the FBI, and they told me, oh, just have your local PD check it out. That is really weird, since Killeen is the largest town hooked to the largest military base in the world. And since we've been involved in so many political, we're in the middle of a political bullshit with Hillary and all the damn Democrats.
Hold up there, partner. Hold up. I had to dump you because of the language we're talking here. So you gotta be clear. I'll tell you what. Time's running out here anyway. Craig, we're gonna analyze what you just said, and we're gonna move on from that. And I appreciate you informing me as to what's going on. So I didn't quite catch what he said, Bill. Did you catch what he said on what he saw?
It said it was 2 IT banks, 2 computer banks, in a AC-controlled space being run by 2 giant electric generators.
Okay. So, I mean, that's what you want to do, people. You want to stay alert, stay aware. If you see something odd, call it in, and so we can all try to be safe. I mean, we don't want to go overboard, but you want to make sure if it's something that's out of the normal, you might want to call it in. I appreciate that, Craig. Thanks a lot. All right. Bill, we were talking about how people were still thinking, I think we got cut off on the conversation about people still thinking that Trump can be impeached or he's out of the actual.
Yeah, there's a complete misunderstanding, and I don't use this word lightly, and I don't mean to be ugly, but it's just an ignorance to the process. And the impeachment's basically an indictment, and just like any other indictment, even if the grand jury indicts, it doesn't carry any weight until the prosecutors forward it on to the court. And right now, he's been impeached as far as they've passed articles of impeachment, but he has technically not been impeached because the process of impeachment's not concluded until the House forwards those articles to the Senate and the Senate accepts them.
Now, Bill, I got to ask you something. Even though that's protocol and that's the way it's supposed to be, the cat's out of the bag. Yeah. Everybody says he's impeached, so he'll forever have a stain of impeachment on his.
But the thing to remember, though, is that he's not removed from office until the Senate trial, and he would have to be found guilty by a supermajority, by a 2/3 vote in the Senate, to be removed from office. Impeached. How many people have been indicted in this whole world? It's an indictment. It is a huge deal, or it should be a huge deal, but apparently, let's be honest, the Republicans kind of set the precedent in 1998 by impeaching Clinton in a world where they knew they were never going to get him removed from office. And that's why a lot of people have asked me last day, why didn't we do this to Obama? Because we knew we would never get a 2/3 majority vote in the Senate. So all you were going to do was you were going to hit yourself again by impeaching him.
I know, but you're doing that based on because you don't like the guy as compared to their actual factual things to impeach a person on. This one here is they don't want the guy in there because he's tearing it up.
And
all right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue on. See you on the other side.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in names and numbers.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind. Run, Rudolph.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. Bill, I got Bill Whitmire, Republican chair. Bill, you got your own little show. Bleacher Bum Radio used to have a show. Now you're doing
we used to have it on a radio station around the area, but we're transporting it over to a podcast. And it basically, we cover sports that we like here in Central Texas, you know. Football, baseball, pro, college, a lot of high school stuff in the Central Texas area. Now that we're doing a podcast, we'll probably start covering a little bit more college level stuff and a little bit more pro stuff outside of the area. But we'll still have our Central Texas roots.
I know you're in transitional period, but can they access your podcast yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
We've done a couple of dry runs just to get the sound quality right and all that stuff, and tested a few. We want to do some, and we've got some restaurants that have been generous enough to let us test there. And, of course, at the Cameron Country Club, we've tested there, and we've done some test shows just for the purpose of working on the sound quality and stuff. And I think we're probably about 95% there, and we will kick it off after the first of the year. We thought we might be able to do some in December, but we just want to make sure everything works right and make sure we get it in a place where people can download it. We used to have all of our old radio shows on the old radio station's webpage, but they pulled all those down here in the last week or so. So they're no longer on there anymore. But we're pretty excited. Obviously, the Bleacher Bums, there's 7 of us. There's usually only about 3 or 4 of us on at any one time. Sometimes there's just 2. But we just talk about sports you want to hear about here in Central Texas. And this week's been a great week. This weekend is, of course, state championship week for football. There's all those games go on through tomorrow evening. A lot of Central Texas teams in those games. Grandview, Mart, La Vega, several schools in the area, and it's a good time to be in high school sports right now for the next week or so. And
well, you guys got a great show. You all know what you're talking about. It's fantastic. You know, speaking of podcasts, I got my own podcast. I'm pretty proud of it and excited about it. We've been posting. I got another one just posted today. So if you go to Aaron's Gun Shop, High Cap Adventure Radio Podcast, it's now available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. New episodes every Friday. So just go to aaronsgunshop.com and search High Cap Adventures and subscribe today to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify.
I mean, radio's great, and we love it. I also love the podcast standpoint, too, because you can take the highlights of the show, put it on a podcast, and in case you missed the show one day on the radio, boom, you can go podcast it and catch up, and you're never really behind. So I love podcasting as well as doing it.
Now, I know you've had a long show. I don't know what you do, but I know with my show, what I did was I'll do the show, and then I'll clip it and put it into a 40-minute to a 60-minute segment podcast just to get the meat and potatoes of it. So it's pretty good. So check Bill out. And I guess we'll inform everybody once you've got it up.
Yeah, once we get it up and running, we'll inform everybody and tell them where they can go download it if they want to download it. They want to download it.
All right,
they
everybody.
need this stuff.
Yeah, they need it. If you want to give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Stream us live at logicnation.us. I got an article here, too. Barr calls Comey a liar. AG says Trump-Russia probe was, quote, run and bird-dogged by a very small group of very high-level officials. Attorney General William Barr said ex-FBI Director James Comey's claim that the Trump-Russia probe was run, quote, 7 layers below him is a total lie. The idea that it was 7 layers below him is simply not true, Barr told Fox Martha McCallum on Wednesday. I think that one of the problems with what happened was precisely that they pulled the investigation up to the executive floors, and it was run and bird-dogged by a very small group of very high-level officials. At that, Bill, I totally agree. I totally agree that he's a liar. Everything that was going
You gotta, I mean, how can you, this is like one of the biggest guys, one of the biggest elections ever, and you're going to tell me that was 7 levels down?
Exactly.
I mean, what is 7 levels down should be handling local things in a local area.
I might put the pill in my mouth if he said it was the level below me. But when you're telling me 7 levels down, that's a bunch of bull.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Kind of still permeate this storyline that, it wasn't us. It wasn't me. I mean, Comey has hung himself in the wind multiple times. Every IG report that comes out down the pike points a finger at him. Now, who's the one that's kind of gotten away with everything is Loretta Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
The last AG under Obama. You know, she came in. She's one of the ones that kind of, I mean.
And she's staying quiet for some reason.
Yeah. No one said anything about her, and she just kind of, all right, I'm not going to say anything. Hadn't written a book, hadn't done anything, just quietly fade away. But Comey's like a chatty Cathy doll. He can't shut his mouth. And he pulls his own string, just so he can keep talking.
He's the cat, and he's got the bird feather sticking out of his mouth.
I mean, he's just so. No, there's no way that was 7 levels down. His hands are all over that. And here's the other side to it. And Matt, you've had a clearance before. I never took notes after a meeting when it was a high level, high classification. I didn't take notes. I didn't do anything like that. And he says he took notes. And because first of all, when you take notes of a meeting, it's your personal slant on the meeting. It's not an actual verbatim note. And I mean, the guy's just, if there's anybody that needs to be on trial, it's Comey.
Look, it's just like my business. I don't want merchandise. My merchandise is in my brain.
Yeah.
I don't want to take notes because it's evidence of what I know. I don't want people to know what I know.
Yeah.
I just want to keep it quiet. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue on with this. Give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. See you on the other side.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility. Any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas. And our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, December 20th, 2019. Matt, your host here. Hey, Susan, real quick, give us a real quick run of Logic Fest.
Logic Fest is January 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's a great time to come together with like-minded folks in Fredericksburg, Texas. You can stay at the Windcrest Inn and Suites, Sunset Inn and Suites, Econo Lodge, Barrister's Guest Quarters, and then call down there, and they'll give you, just say you're going to Logic Fest, and they'll give you the special rates.
And Susan, I don't know if you were thinking about setting up an easel and all that kind of stuff, but if you are, they should know how to get a hold of you. How can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can email me at susansturlart@gmail.com. You can check out my blog at susansturlblog.com. Check me out on Facebook at Sturl Fine Art Studio, and you can see my work. I'm doing a lot of new commissions right now, and getting ready to deliver them for Christmas.
They look great too.
And so anyway,
if you're streaming this live here and you're looking over my left shoulder from the camera, you'll see one of the things she did. It was the Modern Minuteman, and you get to see the ugly mug who she painted. That was me, and she did a great job. She's got a whole bunch of other good stuff too.
Commissions make great, unique, and special gifts that are treasured for years to come. I'm also going to start teaching a class, art class, in January. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do that, give me your email, and I'll put you on the email list and when information goes out for that.
Sounds great. Okay, we're pressed for time. Bill, we wanted to hit AOC on Gabbard.
Yeah, AOC, she jumps all over Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard voted present on the impeachment deal. We talked about that earlier today. You know, part of that is if she votes yes, she wins re-election, but she has no chance at being possibly a VP candidate or really doesn't have a chance. She leaves what she's already said. She said she doesn't believe in impeachment. She thinks the president should be beaten in the election. If she votes for impeachment, she's going against that. If she votes to not impeach, then she probably loses re-election in Hawaii. So she voted present. You know? Well, AOC comes out and says, we were sent here to lead.
Lead us off the freaking cliff.
And what you have to realize is that anytime a party that's in the majority gets to be in the majority, you start to see it splinter. You start to see it segregate itself based on those that are moderates, those that are far party faithful, those that are in the middle of the party, those that are, and it never ends. They'll segregate themselves over and over and over again, and that's what's going on right now. AOC comes out and says, we were sent here to lead. She's never led anything more than a group of baristas at a freaking cafe in New York City. I mean, that's all she's ever led. except to be in college. And here's Tulsi Gabbard, who's a vet, who's done some pretty significant things, and who has some real ideas about how to lead. And so she's going to attack her. And what's not surprising about that is that happens when a party gets in the majority. You look at the Republicans here in the state house the last few times, and they've had splinter groups develop that have caused issues for the Republicans here in the state house. The good news for Republicans and for conservatives is that that's where the Democrat Party is. I think they look at impeachment as being a unifying factor for them, but I tell you, I think it's much more divisive for the Democrats in the House of Representatives in Washington than anybody really knows.
People want things done and accomplished. They don't want your animosity towards the guy because they beat you.
Well, those Democrats that voted for it, there are a lot of them that were reluctant to do it, but felt that pressure from the Democrat Party and from those ultra left-wing people, because AOC's already sponsoring, I think, 3 primaries. She's primarying herself, 3 of her colleagues in the House. She's putting up candidates to run against them because she finds them to be too much in the center. And so that splintering like that name-calling, if you're on the right side, you're a conservative, you want to see that out of the Democrats in the House, because that's when they start to fall apart. And that's what we want.
It's all a strategy, man.
But
why can't it be simple? The flag. You look at the top of the flagpole, and the flag is a representation of what we supposedly believe, and that people want to go into the positions that they're in because they want to uphold those beliefs and those systems. You know, it's so honest, it's so pure, it's so true. Yet you got the ruler of this world, Satan himself, comes in here and puts all these different thoughts in your process, and it just destroys it all, you know? It's sad. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope people would be able to act and react and interact better, especially those that are supposed to be leaders. But when they've never had to lead, when all they've done is run their mouths and they show up, this is the kind of crap you get in Washington.
All right, everybody, we're taking a break in about 20 seconds here. So if you want to give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio and YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, maybe we'll get a last-minute call. I'll give you my opinion piece and final thoughts. We'll see you on the other side.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind.
And welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. We got a few minutes left before the end of the program, before the end of the week, before we finish it up. I got Bill Whitmire, Republican Chair of Milam County, Susan Sterl, and myself. And at this point in time, what I'd like to do, ladies and gentlemen, I've got about a 2.5-minute audio clip of an observation piece that I did titled Individuality in a House Divided. And I think it somewhat befits our situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this for you, and then we'll come back and we'll do our final closing of the show. If you got a final call you want to make, you'll probably do it at the very last minute or two. Feel free to do so. So without further ado, let me play this video clip, or this audio clip, Individuality and a House Divided. It is titled, Individuality in a House Divided. Ladies and gentlemen, having your own personality and ways of doing things is a good thing. Expressing yourself is one of the great blessings that this country has to offer its citizens. However, there is a line not to be crossed. That line is called unity. A common goal, belief, stance. A strong house, family, country must have a common goal and purpose, otherwise they splinter only to fall apart and lose their unity. This country has splintered apart. This country is splintered apart for many reasons, but I'm just going to list a few. One is the elimination of God from our schools. Two, the sordid agenda of those in power. And three, the ignorance or apathy of the American citizen. In your host's opinion and confidence, the removal of God from our schools and anywhere else it can be done has had a devastating effect on the morality of this country. As for the sordid gain of those in power, it's expected. However, a knowledgeable citizenry should be able to combat that. But that brings me to the third point, the ignorance and apathy of most of us. This country has gotten worse than balkanizing. It has gotten individualizing. Our core, our spirit of common unity, which makes this country so great, has been individualized to the point of almost no return. We need a spiritual, patriotic, family revival. Do what you want. Be who you want to be. Be who you want to be with. But let's all do it under an umbrella of unity. Respect, honor, and dignity have many places and many forms. We should all apply these in our daily lives. But pushing individualism in a destructive manner only strangles the goose that lays our golden eggs of freedom. Please, ladies and gentlemen, cut down the rhetoric of "I've got to be me" and promote the feeling of unity by expressing it in your own way. That makes for a perfect blend of freedom. There you go. Feedback. You like that? Welcome back, everybody. That was the observation, Individuality in a House Divided. And I've got many more. Got a couple minutes left. If you want to have a last-minute phone call, give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio and YouTube at youtube.com/Logic Nation Radio. Bill, we're finishing up a week, a very historic week. You've got about another minute and a half or so, 2 minutes. Anything based on your position of political experience and knowledge and everything that's going on? I know you take lots of notes. You're totally into this. Can you recap, say anything, final words for the week that may help, or just whatever.
I think just pay attention. Just pay attention to what's going on. Read all you can read about it. Look at different media outlets, media sources, and just pay attention. It's
But how do you read these media outlets when you know many of them are tainted?
if you read enough, you begin to develop a sense of what is correct and what is, propaganda. And it takes, unfortunately, we live in a society now where everybody's mindset is to, 30 seconds is about as long as they can hold on a subject. But to understand things, you've got to look at it. And I would tell everybody, take a long look at this whole deal. If you take a long and an open-minded look at everything, you're going to sit back and you're going to realize there's nothing to this. This is a baseless argument, a baseless impeachment deal, and you have to look at it from that standpoint. And then you have to hold those individuals accountable for their votes, for their thoughts, and for what they say. And if I had to tell anybody anything for the rest of the week, look at it, because it's going to be all weekend long in the news.
Okay. Good advice. Ladies and gentlemen, I've enjoyed the week. Susan, thanks for all the help. Bill, thanks for coming in. Thanks for all the callers. Thanks for everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
That's right. Susan and I will not be here until Thursday of this upcoming week. We got Shane and Con coming in, taking care of the controls. So you're in good hands. And until we see you again, God bless. Keep your powder dry. See you on the other side.
Sweet strawberry icing.
You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? A sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling